Let's move on to this story. We know that we now have 70 countries working on drugs and vaccines around the world. There is a growing global backlash against China. China has ignited a humanitarian crisis around the world. We're talking social media, Colonel, lighting up social media attacks against China in India, in Bangladesh, in Afghanistan, from Europe to the UK. The world simply cannot get hit again by another pandemic due to China's recklessness and cover-ups. I mean, the UK believes China's outbreak is 40 times bigger. So how do you get China to be made accountable here?
Well, first of all, I think people forget this is just a nail in the coffin. France, China was in deep trouble before this even started. You know, debt traps on Belt and Road, cheating with 5G, all other kinds of predatory behavior. The world was really turning, and China's seen this coming. So here's, I think, the key thing. I don't think we're all going to just stop doing business with China, but this is Advantage USA. As soon as we get this country back to work, we're going to be in the strongest position of anybody. And this president's going to have more leverage on China than anybody has had in the last 30 years. And this is a guy that's not afraid to use it. And I think it is
understood. Go ahead. Finish your
No, yeah, use the leverage. Let the president follow through on the strategy that we already have in place.
Okay. All right. So here's what's going on. Japan is now saying to its companies that had operations in China, come home to Japan. We'll pay you billions. They have $2 billion set up to get companies out, Japanese companies out of Japan to come back home. We know that there's basically the Production Act, the Defense Production Act, Domestic Production Act to get companies to ramp up medical supplies and the production of that. Could that be used as a first step to get even more medical supply production happening inside the United States? Because China has basically been pushing on a medical Belt and Road initiative to become a medical superpower now. Your reaction to that?
So I think we need, I think our approach is we need a plan that's good for America, good for Japan or whatever they're doing. I think there's three pieces. One is, why can't people do business here? So let's scour everything we're doing at the local, state, and federal level, every piece of red tape that prevents somebody from being integrative and hiring people here, and get rid of that. So give people a reason to do business in the United States. I think the second one is there are other partners around the world that want to do business in the United States. We don't spend enough time going out and finding those good partnerships, so that's two. And I think the third thing is transparency. This has really been the key of the whole thing if we've learned anything. Just let the world know what the Chinese are really doing, and then people will make risk-informed decisions, and they will do business in other places. I think that's the three-part strategy for the U.S. that will really put China in its place.
James Carafano, thank you so much. Great to see you. Thanks for your insights there. Come back soon.
Thanks for having me.
Coming up.